Hello ladies and gents, welcome back to Chaos TV's live coverage. Hope you're enjoying the music there. And we are live into the picks and bans for game number 3, which could prove to be the finale, the very final game of this EUS Challenger Series number 18. As ever, I'm joined by Pulse, and it is going to be Ninja's Pyjamas versus TFS with Heimerdinger, I should say, being banned again, which isn't the first time we've seen that. Heimerding. Been listening to too much of that song.
Absolutely, but we'll see if Ninjas in Pyjamas can take this to a clean sweep of 3-0 in this best of 5 series, or if TheFoxSound can claw back 3 wins in a row against this ex-LCS team. But Heimerdinger is going to be banned out. Annie and Master Yi in response. Look like these guys know exactly what each other are smoking.
And it's not legal in this case.
It's definitely not legal, not when Garen's being banned out.
Annie, Master Yi, Garen, Heimerdinger, Pantheon. Okay. Cool. That's going to leave a lot of OP champions available, though, as we're seeing with Kassadin and Vi alongside Yasuo all being picked up, plus the Thresh.
Okay, so that's going to be the first lock-in of Vi, which is just a standard champion. It's just good with everything. It has strong ganks early. If you have a lot of bursts in the mid lane, you can just chain that into an easy Vault Breaker, Assault and Battery, you pick up a kill. You can also have the Orianna with the ball delivery system. It's just a very solid first pickup. And the counter, I guess, is just any other jungler who can trade effectively, because you can counter jungle, but it's not horrific to take out of them. Because all of these interesting bans have been brought out, Kassadin was available for Ninjas in Pyjamas, and we saw the full extent of that when they were against Pulse Esports.
What is going on here for TFS? Vi, Yasuo, Gragas. So Gragas top, Yasuo top?
Okay, well, Vi could be in the jungle, that's probably a certainty. Yasuo has been seen in the top lane, so has Gragas. I think yesterday we saw a Yasuo Akali lane, where you had like a significantly squishier top lane, but something that didn't necessarily conform to the quote-unquote meta. But I've seen Gragas top lane as well, like built super tanky.
Right, so it's going to be interesting to see how Ninjas in Pyjamas try and counteract this then, because Lee Sin, I would expect to see in the jungle. I mean, it can be played top, can be played in mid as well, but pretty sure it's going to be jungle. So if it is Gragas top, for example, what would you expect to see coming out from the top lane? Maybe another Renekton?
Very possible. Gragas in the top lane is quite well sustained. He actually trades very well with a lot of top lanes, funnily enough, because you can slow down their attack speeds, and it makes it fairly difficult to trade up against them. But I don't know. I think the Yasuo might be top lane. We'll just have to see how it pans out. But most likely we're going to see the Lee Sin in the jungle. In the top lane, you could just pick one of the meta champions. And because nothing's really been banned out, Shyvana's open, Mundo's open, you could pick a Renekton into that, even a Trundle.
So they've gone for a standard comp, then they've gone for a reset comp, and this time around it seems more like a CLG comp with Protect the Vayne. If they do go for the Lulu lock-in, then that's a lot of protection, a lot of kind of reforming of team fights that they have on the cards, but instead they're going for a Vladimir, in which case, whatever they're having, I'd like some, because I have no idea what their support is.
Okay, if that has that been locked in, just to confirm.
It has.
Alright, so I assume that's going to be a Gragas support, which again is not unheard of. You get the utility from the ultimate, the utility from the attack speed slowdown, and also the movement speed slow from Gragas. Actually quite potent in the early game. It allows you to trade up against most of the other supports by just dueling them. But it's not something we see all the time. It also gives the more trading when you hit level 6 for Vayne. But like all Vayne compositions, if Vayne doesn't get rolling, then there's no point trying to protect a carry who doesn't dish out any damage.
Nope, Chuck Tester, that's a Yasuo support. Enjoy.
Okay. I don't know then. I guess Windwall to block against auto attacks? Maybe? I don't know. It's going to create some very interesting fights, but...
Well, I guess it could block the death sentence.
It could block the death sentence, yeah, exactly.
With like 10 seconds to go, they've switched it, so it looks like it is going to be Gragas support. So everything you initially said, we'll stick with that.
Fantastic. I'm glad that happened. But anyway, guys, we will be jumping to a quick commercial break, and when we get back, we'll see exactly what the TheFoxSound are up to with their composition. We'll see you very soon.
other day. Other day.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Ninjas and Pyjamas, or Ninjas in Pyjamas versus TheFoxSound. Such a good intro, wow. US Challenger Series number 18. This was the finals. 2-0 is the current scoreline in this best of 5. Let's see if they can take it to a clean sweep, or if TheFoxSound can drag this one back. I am Pulse. I am joined by Metas. Hello, Metas.
Hello, mate. You sound a bit depressed there.
You alright?
You alright?
I kind of like went off towards the end of it because I was running out of lung capacity, so I was like, alright, and then like transitioned.
Yeah, I'm pretty good, man. And you know, judging from the last two performances, I would say that the majority of people that are watching this in chat would probably bet fairly heavily in favour of Ninjas in Pyjamas to take this third game, because there've been two fairly comfortable performances thus far in this best of 5.
Okay, so I think a very reasonable response from Amin in response to the picks from TFS has come out with "Are you drunk?" No, I think is the general consensus.
Replied with a bit, and he's playing Gragas, so it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Such meta jokes, but
drink you under the table, scrub.
that was way too good. For you not to be Gragas.
I actually voice Gragas, and I actually am Gragas in real life. If anyone's ever seen me, I look like Gragas.
Oh man, I would love to watch that cosplay. We're gonna see Freeze actually just get hit by crazy caps and just walk on out. I'll be regen by the time these guys get back to lane, which is in 1 second, because the minions was one.
They have. I'm very interested to see how Gragas support's going to work out, because it's not something I've seen a great deal of. Have you, Paul? So you mentioned it would work, but have you actually seen it in practice?
I said I've seen it, I didn't say it would work.
It's the other way around. GG.
Yeah, I've seen it in support like once before. I can't remember where I saw it. I think it was a competitive game. It can work out. We're also seeing 0-0 pick up the LeBlanc in the top lane in response to the Vladimir pickup, which is not something we really see in competitive play too much, but we still see it quite frequently in solo queue.
Well, as we said before, solo queue is not the greatest of indications for rank 5s.
Yeah, absolutely.
And definitely not at challenger level. But it does kind of make sense though, Pulse, because it's a fairly sustained champion just off base, but is actually faking the recall already, just trolling. So maybe TFS have realised, look, we've been second best both games, let's just have a bit of fun.
Yeah, so LeBlanc and Vladimir is actually a matchup we saw quite a lot in Season 2. And Vladimir does comparatively fairly well against LeBlanc. He's not as good as Fizz, but because of his troll pool, it's very difficult for LeBlanc to land a sustained silent combo and like the all-in combo that LeBlanc's like to do. And it's down to Zera's just reacting in time, because as soon as that Sigil silence comes in and he reads that 0-0 wants to head in with the rest of his combo, then he can just troll pool bottom lane gank, however, with Santorin.
Forcing the flash instantly, here comes a barrel roll as well. Beautiful condemned against the wall. First blood for TFS. So shush our mouths about Gragas' support. Seems to be working fine just now.
Yeah, attack speed slow makes him very strong in trades. He can follow up with ganks very well with the extra movement speed slow. And he just actually does quite a lot of damage. Santorin looking for round 2 onto freeze. He's just hanging around the corner and he is going to walk into it.
And the flash is already down, so this should be free pickings, unless they don't have the raw damage output to take this one in. Flash from Santorin, they do pick up the second consecutive kill. Santorin is really exploding in this game.
Well, who was expecting that? All the doubters in chat and everyone, including ourselves. Pretty good, actually, the composition that they've actually come out with. It's a very consistent composition. And Ninjas Pyjamas, this is the first time their bottom lane's actually been behind from the start of the game.
Oh, Xerius is getting aggressed on super heavy from 0-0. Actually, Sanguine pulling away, forced the flash, narrowly escaping from Armin's Q. But I fear it's going to be him dying regardless. Flash to secure that kill.
No, they actually burnt some summoners to try and take that one down, but it's not too terrible in the end. That's basically the opposite of how Vladimir's supposed to operate against LeBlanc. He got silenced before he could use his Sanguine pool, and then by the time he pulled, he was already dead, because he's already tethered. That actually stays through, much like Fiddlestick's drain, so by pooling it actually doesn't stop tethers and drains.
Yeah, and you actually also cost yourself 20% of your current health in doing so. So it's not the greatest of mechanical plays, and unfortunately found out the hard way. Does still have his ghost because he went flash and ghost, so does still have an escape ability, but against LeBlanc with distortion, it's not going to do a great deal of good.
Yeah, so again, Ninjas in Pyjamas are going to be able to control the pace of this game. It's reliant, their early game objectives are to get 2 kills onto Nuke Duck, maybe a couple kills onto LeBlanc as well. She's essentially there to get the fight rolling. And then Sivir is just going to make it very difficult to push up against them, and in contrast, very difficult for them to defend against the constant pushing. NIP's objective when you get to mid-game is to try and pick people off using the Fresh pickup, the LeBlanc pickup, their compositions are wrong picking, and then taking people down when they're away from that turret.
Now, I know this may be a bit of an unfair question because, you know, Gragas support's not the most common thing in the world, but if you was Icon here, how would you be looking to build the champion? Would you be going for just raw AP, or maybe going for a bit more tanky?
It's a pretty interesting question, because he'll need to go for a somewhat conventional support build to still remain relevant, and if he wants the rest of the team to have mobility, Talisman's Ascension is the choice pick for a lot of supports, and he'll probably need to go for that at some point, but he's opted for the double Doran's items, which will just allow him to accentuate how strong he is in the first couple of levels, but they're gone for this gank.
Oh, that was such a good mechanical play there from Thresh, flashing away. None the Condemn was coming down. Crazy Cap should be falling. Barrier has been used. There's the Boomerang Blade to secure the kill. Zykion, beautiful flayback from Mithy. Can they secure this kill with a Q? No, they can't. Too tanky with the 2 Doran's items, as you say, but I'm not sure if he caught that. As Vayne condemned Mithy against the wall, he flashed away and then Dark Passaged Armin. That was such good mechanical play, such good reaction replay as well.
Yeah, Mithy's Thresh is just on the next level, and that's exactly what you would expect from this guy. And Zaichin doesn't really offer too much in terms of saving his AD carry. He is better at kind of running away from the AD carry in a tough situation, which is what we saw just there. It was like, oh, Vayne's getting ganked, body slam away, and then he was just good to get out of there. Until he hits level 6 when he gets the explosive cast. His only play there is just to run.
Yeah, there's not a great deal else to do. Like, get a barrel roll, try and slow down the attack speed and such, but apart from that, it's just get out of dodge. Until, as you said, explosive cask and all the displacement that brings as well. But this is probably, out of the 3 games, I'd say, Pulse, their strongest start.
Yeah, this is the most even start, despite the composition we were most doubtful of, and it's actually looking really, really quite good. They have great utility, they scale well into the mid game and the late game. Vladimir is kind of still a hyper carry. He'll spend most of the early and mid game just farming behind turrets, trying to get as much bomb as possible. Vayne will do basically the same sort of thing, and Vladimir, yes, he's sort of melee range, but he'll be able to clear out waves very efficiently to try and counteract that push from Freeze.
Then again, I would imagine that Sivir would be pretty good against Gragas because Spell Shield. I mean, Explosive Cast comes in, you just Spell Shield it, and it's no longer an issue. So, it's going to be interesting to see how these dynamics shift over the next 5 to 10 minute period, especially when Dragon starts to come up, because, you know, Gragas, even with little AP, is still going to do quite a big chunk of damage on Dragon. So, potential Dragon steals as well for TFS.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, Gragas support doesn't offer too much damage, and often when you have Gragas support, he'll end up getting some kills early because he has that spike in damage, but because he can't continuously itemize and he won't be continuously getting a consistent gold stream, then he'll just end up buying like a death cap, and that's what he'll have by 30 minutes. And okay, it's a death cap, but you would want that damage somewhere else like Yasuo.
Exactly, and by 30 minutes should be enough magic resist to not really have as much impact. Yeah. By that time, as a Gragas in mid, for example, you'd probably want like the Athene's and Holy Grail, a Void Staff, something similar to that, plus the Rabadon's Death Cap. So yeah, it's not going to have the same relevance at all.
Okay, so Ammon just rotating through his jungle and hasn't really been able to get too many ganks off this game, apart from bottom lane, which is the best gank opportunity. LeBlanc is looking to try and aid this one, and they should be able to get it as long as Vladimir is too far away from his turret, but the tether has just missed.
His Flash has got a couple more seconds on cooldown, so let's see if it comes up in time. Dragon's Rage back, Hemo Plague was used on Zoro Zero, and here comes the mobility from LeBlanc any second now. In fact, choosing not to, going to be baiting across. Ignite goes in, goes back again, Kassadin from the side, but Vladimir will manage to pick up the kill. Can he survive as well as the Ignite's gone off cooldown? It's going to be Riftwalk any second. There we go, picks up that kill, and a beautiful move from Nukeduck, getting himself out of dodge, flashing, knowing that the Assault and Battery was coming in, Riftwalking away, and will be safe.
That was initially very messy from LeBlanc. The missed skill shots from both him and Ammon combined almost meant that Zerius could escape with his life plus pick up a kill. It turned out to be a 1-for-1 plus assist for the team of Ninjas and Pyjamas, and it was a perfect flash by Nukeduck, getting away from the tower aggro so that Santrin couldn't lock him up using Assault and Battery, which didn't mean they could pick up a kill, but it meant that he wouldn't die in the process, because he was actually dropped quite below healthy regions for a Kassadin.
Yeah, I was just watching that again because I have the stream up on my left screen right now, and yeah, if the Assault Battery had have landed without that flash kicking off, it would have been in tower range, and it could have been a whole different situation there, Pulse. Meanwhile, at bot lane, final hour I feel was popped kind of needlessly there, burning that ultimate for nothing.
That's exactly what you said would happen. The Zaichin was so telegraphed that when he was going to be using his ultimate, instant spell shield, Sivir just carried on walking, it knocked Miffy to the side, Zaichin follows up with body slam, flay backwards, which you can even do just on reaction. You don't even need to preempt that because it's just such a slow projectile, that being Gragas, so Miffy can just push him backwards and nothing really happened. Those are some big ultimates, some big cooldowns for literally nothing.
Yeah, and that in a nutshell is the reason why Sivir is so strong right now in this lane. Fair enough, Sivir can't really spell shield anything from Vayne, barring potentially the Condemn as we just saw there, but On the Hunt has been used, Box as well. Zykion now does not have his ultimate. That's a long range, full range grab, I believe, and that is going to signify the end of Crazy Cap's life. So again, Mithy with the hooks. Beautiful play from the bot lane.
The action's not going to stop because top lane they're going to go in.
Yes, they are. Rift walking away, though. Nukeduck is now left. LeBlanc all by himself, but double distortion back to safety. There's the Assault Battery underneath the tower. This is going to backfire horribly. Or is it? Because there's Yasuo from the side. Last breathing in, and will pick up that kill.
Assault and Battery into Last Breath is essentially the best synergy you could possibly hope for, because Assault and Battery will primarily be used to initiate, so will Last Breath, and it's just a great initiation. Oh, the damage from Nukeduck.
What are you doing, TFS? This is Kassadin. He has so much burst and suddenly it's a double kill. Hemoplate's gone down, fair enough, but Zeria should be falling as well. Here we go, Kassadin goes in for the last attacks and gets himself a triple kill. And I'm still completely bamboozled by what just happened. Why would you stay?
Nukeduck picks up a triple kill, 1 versus 3. They stay around. They just got way too greedy with the tower. Nukeduck had already finished a Rod of Ages at 11 minutes. Is actually when he picked it up. He didn't choose to go for the tier. Sometimes you'll build that into Saros. He was like, well, I can build a full Rod. Why not? And that turns out results in quite a lot of damage.
But Pulse, why?
I don't know, man.
Why?
It was a bit interesting, and has just donated 3 extra kills onto Kassadin, who is now 4-0-0, and will probably be just killing everyone for the next couple of minutes.
That sure is a fed Kassadin. And,
it is.
Scratch everything we said previously about this looking like a good start from TFS, because Kassadin's just going to get bigger from here on out. Coming around the corner, Santrin been caught on his blue buff. Look at that burst, and another kill going into the hands of ninjas in Pyjamas, plus the blue buff. And seemingly, in the blink of an eye, Pulse, everything turning on its head.
The entire game has shifted. This is exactly why we said do not give Nukeduck Kassadin. We said this in the game against Pulse Esports. This is a brave play from Lapras.
What is my face? My brain regions aren't working.
Oh. Kassadin Minion's too good at this game. Oh, you're finishing off that kill. Yep, I don't know, man. I just don't really know what's happening. It's just kind of Nukeduck has gotten so far ahead. They can't make any relevant play. It's like, you sit at your turret, you're gonna die. And if you concede your turret, then you're still gonna die, because Kassadin has Riftwalk and he's still gonna find you.
Yeah, 5-0 Kassadin. LeBlanc is also in the kills as well now. The bot lane looks like Kassadin is hungry for more. On the Huntsman pop, look at that burst damage. Explosive cast comes through, but simply does nothing. No damage at all. That's a double kill at bot lane. 1 for Lee Sin, 1 for Kassadin. And Nukeduck picks up his 6th kill and the tower. He just went back about 5 seconds ago or something. Has 1.5k gold to spend, as you do.
Yeah, kills all around. Likely he'll go for a death cap, and Lapras is most likely going to die again.
Well, Assault Battery sure comes in, and that's probably going to signify the end of Santrin's life. So, okay.
By using your ultimate, that secures your own death, and that's what we're seeing right here. They're just unable to go for any suitable engagement, and top lane, that's a godlike Nukeduck.
You know, I'd love to commentate, and I'm sure you'd love to theorycraft, Pulse, but this is just pretty much Kassadin doing what he does best, and that's roaming and bursting fools down. Like, I don't really know what else to say.
It's Nukeduck on his A game, and like, it was difficult, and I think it may have been a bit of an error to ban out Heimerdinger and the rest of them. But oh, Lapras! I didn't even know that worked like that. But I'm not sure they can quite catch up. The Condemn actually counts as oh, actually, did he use Q? I'm not sure. I might need to watch that again. But Lapras is going deep.
He is. Boomerang Blade comes out, will be blocked off from the wind wall. Ignite's been used, and Lapras actually missing some of his skill shots. Still has enough damage though to pick that one up. But cue the Jaws music, because here comes Nukeduck. And Lapras is tower diving. So, yeah, goodbye.
Oh, he gets it.
Does get it, though.
Well, 1 versus 2. It couldn't have gone better. I'm actually going to watch that engagement again on my stream. I think it was the Condemn which allowed him to use Last Breath. I didn't see him use his Q, so that's interesting. It's not actually a knock-up, it's a knock-back, but apparently that works as well.
I guess you would have to be airborne to travel backwards, though, Pulse.
I'm trying to think about it in my head, and I think it's absolutely no sense to me.
Right, mechanics. Because why not?
I guess you'd have to be slightly off the ground. I
yeah,
think is what you're trying
travel
to say.
backwards,
Yeah,
otherwise
okay.
you'd gain enough friction to not go back as much, if that makes sense.
Alright, welcome to physics class
Physics
with Methods
with Medicine
TV.
Pulse. Let's do this.
Pass with GCSEs, no problem.
Dude, I don't even know what to say, because about 5 minutes ago this was 3-3, and now it's 16-6. So my brain is just melted. And yeah, I mean, unless... I don't know, actually. It's a nice death sentence. Here comes the Last Breath as well. Nukeduck gets himself to safety with a Rift Walk, but Lapras is going in deep. He wants this kill on Zoro. That is a LeBlanc, though. That's not actually the real one.
That's not actually LeBlanc.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
25 gold.
Worth.
Sort of worth, as long as he doesn't die. Basically an extra minion, and get double distorted.
Get dunked.
Yep. So 6 and 17 is the current scoreline, Metas. Quite a lot of kills.
I think it's the most action-packed game we've had so far on this best of 3. But it all seems to have happened in a 5-minute period, which is quite confusing. So I've got like a brain overload of stuff happening. And Mithy's mechanics, again, I was going to say this before when you were talking about the condemned against the wall into last breath. He dart passaged back to his AD carry of Sivir, then flashed as Sivir took the lantern, so they got even more distance. It was just such a good play from NIP.
Yeah, they're playing this perfectly. They may be just kind of running around and maybe not taking the game too seriously, but their mechanics are definitely there, and we've seen that through a plethora of plays this game already, Metas.
We have. I'm just trying to rack my brains together and think, do TFS have a good chance here of pulling themselves back? And I'd probably say no, because Crazy Caps, Rambo, unfortunately in the movies was successful, this time around not so much.
I mean, Miffy has a good chance of pulling them in with Death Sentence, if that's what you mean, but 0-0 might be taken down here. That's the longest range jump I've ever seen, and LeBlanc is out of it.
Meanwhile, Clones, which one do you go for?
Oh, 50-50. Where's the RNG? I wonder if that's it, Lapras. It turns out it wasn't. I thought the conventional play for LeBlanc was to just stand there and auto-attack minions, but clearly it wasn't the right one.
It's still on top of a ward, though, so this could get sad. Although, oh my goodness, if 0-0 escapes this, I think Lapras may actually rage quit, because Nuke comes in and secures the kill.
Flattened.
And 0-0 survives.
And just carries on farming. I mean, why not? Just clear out their wave and just back. In fact, he's not going to back, he's just going to carry on farming. So, he is below 100 HP, but that doesn't really matter when creeps are your only opponent.
LeBlanc's been playing really good, but a lot of it's came down to Nuke roaming. Crazy Caps gets kicked back from Amin into the Shake and Bake team of Nuke and Miffy.
The Shake and Bake team.
Well, to be fair, Miffy did nothing, so I'm just going to say that Nuke, you know, crushing faces. Question marks from Amin.
Call it that. I would like a combination of champions that we can just call the Shake and Bake.
I guess you could say that's Vi and Yasuo, though.
Yeah.
You know, Vi shakes in the air, and then you get the Bake crush from Yasuo. In this case, not so much.
There's a complete lack of shaking and definitely no baking.
It's like a toaster.
A broken toaster.
One that doesn't even work. Yeah.
Oh well. I mean, it always burns your toast, and Lapras is also getting quite burnt by Nuke Duck. In fact, nukes your toast.
Oh,
if you will.
I see what you did there.
Kappa.
Kappa. Just nothing else.
They are running Kappa, Din.
That is a condemn against the wall, and that's also Crazy Caps dying for 11th kill from Nuke Duck. Now the question isn't whether TFS can win, it's whether they can kill Nuke Duck. I think that's probably their focus. Answer is no. Will they surrender?
Okay, let's say this. If you can get a kill onto Nuke Duck, you're going to be named MVP of this game. Hopefully that's some incentive.
The thing is, people in chat saying casters don't care about a dying Vayne anymore. Yeah, but when people are dying in like 2 shots and it's fairly comfortable which way this game's going, it's hard to give as many cares, honestly.
Quite true. No, Ammon. Not going to be dropping. 6 kills on the board, and well, it was brave. Brave attempt by Lapras.
I would like to see Nuke Duck go on 1v5 and see if he can manage to survive it.
I don't know. If they all grouped up and all got hit by like the Force Pulse and like a charged up Riftwalk, he could probably do it.
I would agree. I think he could. He's got enough damage. Rabadon's and Rod of Ages by 21 minutes is it's definitely nothing to kind of whiff at. But the question is, though, is he going to die? Because I'm not even sure. It is a question. That's true. If we're going to look at this in a semantic text, it is definitely a question.
Yeah, I agree. And also going to see a very conventional build of the classic Bloodthirster into Sword of the Occult build from Sivir.
Definitely top 10 builds, EU. Definitely.
Yep. I would recommend going into solo queue right away. Nuke Duck going to get annoyed by Santorin.
That's pretty much all that's going to happen. A couple of irritating mosquitoes and goodbye. Speaking of mosquitoes, Zerius is Vladimir. And he could be going down from 0-0. It's almost like Nuke Duck doesn't care anymore. He's got this weird perversity about him now. He's got enough kills, he wants to watch other people get kills instead. Quite a sick individual, if you ask me.
Agreed. I mean, they could close out the game. Or they could just dance around Zerios and turn him into... Maybe they can get all their players on their team legendary. Like, they're rapidly approaching that with 2 players.
Right, so they still need LeBlanc and Thresh to pull their finger out their backside and get work done. That's basically where we're at right now.
I mean, I didn't think I was ever really going to hear that on stream. I mean, what time is it? I think it's past the watershed. Yeah, I can get away with that. Oh!
Meanwhile, I'm in...
got him.
Yeah, that sure happened. He's asking if there's lag, but I don't believe that. I don't believe
yeah,
that
I'm not convinced. But Crazy Caps was there in mid lane momentarily, and Lapras has found himself nuked up. Let's see who wins this trade. Oh, Lapras did.
Oh, top lane. I wasn't even paying attention to top lane, because all I can see is a big pain train of doom in mid from Santorin, and Sivir is going to get the kill. So, Rampage for Sivir, 12-0 Pasadin. Yasuo seems to be the next target here. Okay, that just happened.
13-0-8, and Zerius will get tethered and will get taken down by Freeze. See how many stacks he's got at the moment. That's an important question. 11. So I'm not even sure what makes Sword of the Occult. Where does he die? Oh, he's on the spawn pad. I'm not even sure how many stacks you need for Sword of the Occult to be item efficient, because I know for Medjay it's like 8, but I'm not sure on the exact number for Sword of the Occult.
Oh, what up, Crazy Caps?
What up?
That's sure is 0-0. I don't know is the simple answer, Pulse, because I've not seen Sword of the Occult since about Season 1. Even then it wasn't a very good item, so I think I used to build it on my Pantheon jungle.
I did when I was back when I was level 10. And,
yeah. Oh, Nuke Duck could be going down. He might be committing as well, but he's just going to stand there and not really care.
That is 16 stacks on Sword of the Occult. Let's see if we can get it to 20 by the end of this game. That probably will make it item efficient.
That's a good quote in chat. What does the fox say? Nothing, dead men don't speak. That's pretty accurate, I would have to say.
Oh, Ammon will finally fall. Just taking him down on the spawn pad. Nuke Duck gonna very slowly take down the Nexus. There we go. Okay, so that's 3-0. The clean sweep to Ninjas in Pyjamas. Thanks for coming out, guys. This grand finale of the EUS Challenger Series goes to NIP.
Yeah, this was it was a game that for the first 2 matches was quite one-sided, and then the third match was even more than